Peace be with you. So today I wanted to make a video about the approach of the devil, how he approaches us and how he leads us into damnation. And contrary to popular opinion or the opinion Hollywood presents, the devil is not this, red-headed, horned monster that has power over us, that can possess our bodies and so on. That is not what the Quran says. Basically, Quran defines the devil as just a liar. That's all he is. He's a weak liar. He is without any power, but he can lie. And he misguides us. So I wanted to use a couple of contemporary examples to try to explain this situation. So the easiest and probably the most controversial one to use in this case is the example of abortion. So abortion is presented to women as an answer to a very difficult situation a lot of them may find themselves in, right? These people that are telling these women that this is not murder they're evil people. They are truly evil people because they know for a fact that it's murder. They know for a fact that it's killing of a child. Now we can have a scientific debate whether at what point is it okay to interrupt human life or development of human life, but that doesn't change the fact that you are stopping it, and therefore every time you stop a human life you are killing it. And this is just a scientific fact. The very first cell, when the egg and sperm unite, the very first cell is alive. That cell has all the DNA you are ever going to have in your life. It defines your complete existence as far as your body is concerned. You may have different, that was a big black spider. You may have different experiences in life, but nonetheless you will never gain any more DNA. And that DNA completely defines you. So it just depends at what point do people agree it is okay that you interrupt this development, but you are stopping that life. That life is completely defined by that DNA. End of story. So it is life. And people know this. Anybody that has even the basic understanding of science understands this. So when they tell these people you're not killing it, they're lying to them, just like the devil lies to us. So this is how the devil approaches us, right? The devil comes to us as a friend and tells us, it's fine. You can do this. It's not bad. So this is how the devil approached our ancestors, Adam and Eve. And in the Quran, chapter 7, verses 21 and 22, and I'm just going to use an excerpt out of those verses. And he, the devil, swore to both of them, Adam and Eve, most surely I am a sincere advisor to you. Then he caused them to fail by deceit. So these people who provide this service, killing of children, and they call it abortion, they hide it behind language, they are basically they're behaving like the devil. They know that this woman is going to commit the worst kind of killing of her own child, and yet they reassure her, they take away her inhibitions by convincing her that she is not about to do anything wrong. So this is how the devil approaches us. This is exactly how the devil approaches us. They present themselves as friends to these women, and then they misguide them and cause them to commit the most heinous of crimes. Now, don't get me wrong. We live in a place to where, I'm not the one that tells women what they can and cannot do. I can't do that. God, even in the Quran, God tells us that we are only warners. And this woman, because of the fact that the baby is in her belly, cannot be imprisoned for 9 months until the baby is delivered. That's just not feasible. So if she decides to kill this child, she needs to know that she's a killer. That's all. That's my stance. I'm not the one to compel anyone. So the woman does have the right to decide, but it is our duty as society, especially as healthcare professionals, and I'm a doctor, to give them what's called informed consent. So they need to know exactly what they're about to do before they do it. And if you lie to them to cause them to do this, you are the servant of the devil. This is exactly what's going on. Now, I use that example, but this isn't the only example, because if you're talking about, killing babies, killing children, how did this start? Why is this happening? And a lot of times it's just because of bad decisions, because the devil comes to you earlier than that. He doesn't come to you one time. He doesn't come to you, that one time. He comes to you the first time you screw up, now you put yourself in a deeper hole. Then he comes to you again, you screw up, you put yourself in an even deeper hole. Now he's telling you to kill somebody, and as a solution. So every time the devil approaches you, he has a solution for your problem. This is how he lies to us. So when we're seeking to get into a relationship, the devil has a solution. Sleep with him or sleep with her. Then when you screw up and now you're pregnant and you're only 16 and your life, the person you slept with, let's say for a female, he left you, now he's gone. Now the devil comes to you with a solution of, why don't you just kill it? It's an easy solution. And this is how we get, this is what happened to our ancestors, Adam and Eve, the very first human beings. This is how they fell from grace. The devil came to them and said, surely I am a sincere advisor to you. And this is what the devil, we're told in the Quran that this is what the devil is going to say on Judgment Day. He will say, and the verse goes, and the devil will say after the affair is decided, so Judgment Day is here, surely God promised you a promise of truth, and I gave you promises, then failed to keep them to you. And I had no authority of you. I simply obeyed. I simply called you, and you obeyed me. Therefore, do not blame me, but blame yourselves. I cannot help you, nor can you help me. Surely I disbelieved in your associating me with God before. Surely it is the unjust that will have a painful punishment. And who is more unjust than somebody that kills a child? Especially just to hide your own, sexual immorality, to extricate yourself from a previous mistake. You're going to kill somebody else because you made a mistake. And again, I'm firm. I say that women should decide, but women should be provided informed consent, especially young women should be provided informed consent before they decide, because if you lie to them that it's not killing, they're more likely to kill. So you're just lying to them, throwing them into hell, making them murderers and killers of their own children by lying to them. And this is what the devil does. The devil doesn't just come to you through these thoughts. The devil comes to you through these people. Again, the same spider. The devil comes to you through these same people. So the devil tells you, tells these women, hey, you should kill this child. And then the devil also comes to other people and say, hey, help this woman kill this child by telling her it's not killing. And whether they believe that or not doesn't matter. Adam and Eve believed that they were doing a good thing by listening to the devil, and that still wasn't a good thing. So whether or not people believe that they're doing a good thing about in regards to this killing of children that we call abortion, it doesn't matter. They're killing somebody. They're killing a child, and for no reason. For what sin are you killing that child? Most of the time, it's not even the sin of the father. Most abortions do not occur because of incest or rape. Most abortions in America occur because young people made a mistake and they slept with somebody. So to kind of try to end this video, since I'm talking about abortion, so abortion or killing of children is a consequence of a previous mistake, and that previous mistake is sleeping with somebody outside of marriage. And for Muslims, there is a warning about this. God tells us in chapter 24, verse 3, the fornicator shall not marry but a fornicatress or an idolatress, and the fornicatress, none shall marry her but a fornicator or an idolater, and this is forbidden to the believers. So if you are a Muslim, male or female, you are forbidden to sleep with somebody before marriage. And there is a very, very good reason for this. As you can see, almost 1 million children get murdered in this country every year, and most of those murders are because somebody chose to not listen to this part of the advice. So we have to listen to God, especially young women. So society is unjust to young women. It is definitely unjust. And if they're the ones that are left with the burdens of this decision. And most men out here, and this is coming from a man, and I wasn't always a Muslim. This is coming from a man. Most men out here are dogs. If a man wants to sleep with you before marriage, it's just an animal operating on desires, and these people cannot be trusted. These men cannot be trusted. And I'm not going to go out and say that it's only men who are at fault. There are women as well who are very, they're lying and conniving and not moral women, and they entice men through altering their appearance and so on to entice men to sleep with them and so on. But young women, I think for you, come on. Spider for the third time. I think I'm in his house. I'm going to have to move. It is these young women who are going to be the greatest victims. So they need to heed this warning especially. The last thing I'm going to say, because I'm being overrun by spiders apparently, is that God says in the Quran, there's a verse that says, impure women are for impure men, and impure men are for impure women, and women of purity are for men of purity, and men of purity are for women of purity, and these are not affected by what people say. For them is forgiveness and an honorable reward. The who you seek is what you get, is what you are. So if you are a man seeking a woman that's dressed inappropriately, she's hanging out of her clothes, and if that's what you want, then that's who you are, and that is what you're going to get. You yourself are immoral. So if you ever get harmed by such a person, if they cheat on you or whatever, then that's what you get. Same for women. If you are looking for these men who are trying to sleep with you, but they got money, they got cars, you're gonna get what you want. You are an immoral woman. You're not seeking morality. You're seeking money, and you're gonna get, when you get hurt, then that's not because of God. That's because you refuse to listen. And that's it. The devil approaches us as a friend, not only through our own thoughts, but through other people as well, who convince us that these actions that God forbids are wrong, or are right. I mean, that we should do them. So every time the devil comes to you, he's going to make it seem like a good idea, right? That's the whole point. That's why people do it. This is why Adam and Eve did it, because they thought it was a good idea. And it almost never is a good idea. It never is a good idea. So that's what people need to understand. So if you are a young Muslim, especially somebody that's seeking a relationship, you have to heed God. Evil men are for evil women, and evil women are for evil men. And that means if you are evil yourself, you are going to ignore God's warning, and you are going to seek a person that is exemplifying hedonistic behaviors that you don't understand what they mean. You don't understand these people are self-centered just like you. And you are going to get hurt by these people, and then you're going to wonder, well, why? Well, because you didn't listen. You didn't listen to God when God told you, look, the devil is going to approach you as a friend. It's going to tell you he's giving you good advice, but it's never good advice. So God, I'm going to end this with a warning from the Quran, this chapter 7, verse 27. God says, oh, come on, man. The same spider, fourth time. God says, O children of Adam, let not the devil cause you to fall into hardship or affliction, as he expelled your parents from the garden, pulling off from both of them their clothing, that he might show them their evil inclinations. He surely sees you, as well as his tribe, from where you cannot see them. Surely we have made the devils to be guardians of those who do not believe. The devil is always around us, not only around us, but around people who are around us as well. And whoever gives you advice that's contrary to God's advice is influenced by the devil. Just doesn't mean that only you can make mistakes. People around you can make mistakes and give you wrong advice, just like these abortion providers, these baby killers basically, give these women. Because these people who kill children, they have jobs, and their jobs depend on women making this decision. So of course they're going to advise them this way. But it is life. It is definitely life, and it doesn't matter what stage of development you terminated in, you still stopped the life that was defined by that DNA. That DNA was going to make a whole another person, and that person was real, and that was life, and you just stopped that person's life, and that was your child. So don't put yourself in that situation. Listen to God earlier when God says, this is forbidden for the believers. It is good advice. Now, I can't save people from themselves, but this is what it is. This is advice. And what God says in the Quran, this is a warning, so let him who will take a path to his Lord. So that's all.